Hey, Chaba here, back with another proven email breakdown video. This is the 32nd edition, and this is an email that's really unique. And we haven't covered something like this before on this channel because the whole email is basically just a described dream sequence that Rhonda Britten, who is the name, the face behind this company, does and sends out to people who join her list. Now, I don't know exactly whether people receive this in a welcome sequence or later on. I don't remember exactly, but I just know that when I saw this originally, I knew that I had to bookmark it because it was just so unique, so infused with tons of visual elements. And we know that in terms of copywriting, you have to be visual because we as humans are visual creatures as well. So I hope you're excited for this. I promise it's unlike anything you've seen before, probably. To be completely honest, I have no idea how well it works or not. My guess is that it's a game changer. It changes lives after some people read this as well. And it definitely builds tons of trust towards Rhonda. But in terms of copywriting, in terms of tactical effectiveness, I have no idea. Again, this is so unique, so I think you're gonna enjoy this. But before we jump in, I wanted to just mention one quick thing. I wrapped up the launch of my course yesterday. All in all, we ended up with 31 people, so I'm super excited for that. It's an amazing group, and we're gonna have a blast over the next 8 weeks. And I wanted to ask you if you were interested in me breaking down a few emails of the funnel that I used to sell this course with. Right? So, for example, the April's Fool email that I wrote that tons of people responded to and they liked it. And I think it was a super fun email. So if you'd like me to break this down, then leave a comment below. Let me know. I don't know what you're interested in on this granular level, but if you are, then let me know. I will definitely be happy to do it, but I have to see some sort of engagement on your side as well to know whether this is something you might be interested in. So let me know. Curious about that. But jumping back to the email itself, it's not long. I would say it's like 300 words, 350 or something like that. Maybe with the super signature, it's a little longer. But and as you can see, it's not so easy to read as most of the other typical direct response copywriting emails that we see. And I think that could be a mistake. I mean, it's always easier to read stuff when you have just shorter sentences or lines in general. But because this is so hypnotic, maybe, it's okay the way it is. Let's just see. So the subject line that already shows that this is something different says, "I dreamed about you." Okay, I think it's a great subject line. This woman who I subscribe to sends me something, "I dreamed about you." Okay, why shouldn't I open that? Sounds interesting. And then there's another repetition element that sets the context. "I had a dream last night. The dream that you were standing in the center of a circle surrounded by people who were there just for you." So this is kind of, I think it's trying to appeal to people's ego. We all want to be rich and famous and respected and looked up to, right? But in our day-to-day lives, we don't really experience this in most cases. But people still crave this. So with this hypnotic email, I think it's a hypnotic email, Rhonda is basically appealing to this deeper inner desire that most people have when it comes to being respected or adored or just getting, receiving all that positive energy from people. And the whole email is basically just kind of like a vision about this. That's why it's so strange. So people were there just for you. They believed in you. They knew you could live the life your soul intended. They wanted you to believe it too. So I think this element, they wanted to believe it too. It appeals to the fact that Rhonda is trying to reframe a few false beliefs that people who are receiving this email have in a different way. The false belief relates to like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'm an imposter," or "what am I doing here?" or I knew I shouldn't have tried entrepreneurship because it's not for me because I failed before. So the typical type of beliefs that people have, and she's trying to reframe it with this visual hypnotic email. It's very pro. It's very, very high level. When you volunteered to step into the middle of the circle, I just wanted to hug you. I knew you were scared. It was so inspiring. So again, we can see, and this is going to be a recurring event in this email, that there's tons of emotional support that tries to soothe all the pain, all the anxiety that comes with imposter syndrome that people are feeling. Then we continue. And notice how every single sentence is super short. So that's why, if this was written by Justin Goff, for example, all the sentences would take up a paragraph, right? But it's not, and maybe, I'm not sure about this, but I have a hypothesis that since her audience might be women in most cases, predominantly, and those women, they're more tolerant of reading longer sentences and longer paragraphs. But I don't know, if you're a woman watching this video, let me know. And if you're a guy watching this video, also let me know, leave a comment below. What do you think about this? I'm just shooting in the dark here, but I have a feeling that it's easier for Rhonda to get away with this because of her audience. So you had waited a long time to get to this point. Too long. But now you are ready to let go of the past, ready to kiss all that BS goodbye. That was inspiring too. And boy, when you step into the center, it was breathtaking to watch. Again, notice all the visual future-pacing elements here. It's very, very visual. It's taking you on a ride, on a journey. And when I read this email, by the way, I felt emotions. And that should be the objective of copywriting and of your marketing materials, right? Not to like bash people over the head with your facts and your features and your product, but to create and just light the emotions that people have in them. And I think this one does it really well. So then we continue with a very empowering message, and the whole thing basically sounds like a motivational speech that Tony Robbins would tell you in an audio cassette or something, in a visualization exercise. You announced that you were done with staying stuck and small. You were done with living half alive. You wanted to feel passion and joy and peace. Yes, peace. So again, empowering. Then, even so, ever so slowly, you started to tell your story. How meta is this if you think about it? This whole part of the email is a story that talks about you hypothetically telling your story. I think it's very clever. The story was about your dance with fear. Notice again how visual it is. Dance with fear. How it made you compromise yourself. It's a big pain point that a lot of people feel. How you thought it was you. How you thought doing what you should do would keep you safe. Every twist in your story was heartbreaking. And I'm feeling like I have goosebumps probably at the moment. Seriously, I don't know why, but this email has an effect on me. Also on you as you're reading this, or maybe I'm just just babbling too much here, but I don't know. It's super effective for me. Your pain and regret were palatable. I noticed a few people wiping away their tears. Notice the dimensionalization here. It's like how your hypothetical story made hypothetical people feel. It was such an honor to witness you step out timidly at first and then get bolder and bolder. The room loved you. I loved you. More emotional support. I stepped into the middle of the circle and grabbed your hand. Just because you're ready doesn't mean you don't need support. As I always say, no one can be fearless alone. So even more emotional support. This whole email is like a mini therapy session, which is culminated by the next line. So she says, I looked you in the eye and we took a long deep breath together and then whispered in your ear, you are enough exactly as you are. Wow, right? So how many people who are in the entrepreneurship niche, in they're coaches, speakers, authors, freelancers, solopreneurs, or even like bigger business owners, How many of them feel like I'm not enough? I'm not good enough. What am I doing? I'm an imposter. I was just lucky so far. I also feel that many times as a freelancer, or well, I'm not really freelancing anymore, but I used to feel that. So you are enough exactly as you are. It's almost like therapy. And then she says, dreams never stuck to a linear timeline. This is cropped here a little bit. It's hard to read. They bounce all over the place. Whatever. So here's the next thing I saw. You laughing by the pool. So now we're moving on to a next scene. Again, a next visual scene. Notice how visual everything is and how many subtle details there are. And these are the things that add tons of extra dimension to the story. The sun was setting and your hair was a little messed up. You were lounging in a chair as relaxed as you can be. Oh my gosh, you were beautiful. So alive with a big grin on your face. So again, we're appealing to their ego. It's very visual. You were so beautiful. You were great. You were awesome. You were the best. Technically, some psychologists would call this narcissistic supply. I don't know whether it qualifies like that, but I know that my wife would probably call it that. She's a psychologist and she knows a lot of these specific therapeutic things. But yeah, it's interesting. So then the final paragraph basically says it's a mini transformational story. It says you had come into the circle nervous, wondering if this would work for you. And now you are filled with confidence and joy. Your laughter is still ringing in my ear. Interesting. It's a mini transformational story, but it's hypothetical. This morning I woke up happy because of you. What a unique way to close, right? There's no call to action. There's no call to action in this email if you think about it. No primary call to action. It's just taking people on a ride, on a very visual, hypnotic ride, and making them feel better than when they felt like when they started with this email. It's really, really cool if you think about it. Until next time, be fearless. And there's the image of her. At this point, people feel tons of trust for this. And be honest, after reading this email, maybe you can read it yourself as well. Does she seem like someone credible or trustworthy or supportive or something like that? I feel like she's like the prototypical nurturing mother at this point. So yeah, I don't remember exactly when she sent this email or which part of a funnel this is, but it was really unique. So I definitely wanted to show you guys as well. So then after this part, we have a super signature. I talked about this before in previous videos. Basically, you just list a few potential offers or things that people might be interested in as next steps after the main email. And then first we have her book, then we have some implementation course, then we have more content, and then there's a quiz. Again, it probably starts a funnel of some sorts. These are basically entry points to different funnels and products. And yeah, that's it for this one. I think it's really special. I'm really curious what you think about this. So I know sometimes I ask you to leave a comment below, but for this time, please do leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this email, because it's just so weird, right? Was it only me who liked this or just felt feelings because of it, or did you also enjoy it? And also the other thing, also leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to break down some of my emails that I sent out over the course of my program launch. I want to know so that I can serve you better with the relevant content. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.